Japanese from Zero. I am George Trombley, and normally I talk about what I want to talk about when we do these videos, like it's my topic, but this is Ask a Teacher Live. This is where I take your questions, and then I take time to find the answers to those questions or answer them from whatever repository of knowledge that might be in my brain. And today I was feeling, like, let me just do an Ask a Teacher. Turns out there was 9 really good questions, I thought. So I'm going to do a triple header. Although those of you watching this video might not realize it, I'm like into the 4th hour of live streaming here on YouTube. So when you want to ask questions, you just have to come on to the official website where our books are sold, not sold, but yes, it could be JapaneseFromZero.com, it could be YesJapan.com, it could even be FromZero.com. I only say that because we're in flux right now and the site's getting ready to move. And right now, as the making of this video, it is YesJapan.com, but it probably will be very shortly another website. But what you do is you come onto there, and we do have a chat room, and that chat room from time to time has changed to different software. Right now, it happens to be a thing called Discord. If you go in there and you PM me, I will take your question and we'll answer it. Wow, that was a long introduction. Hopefully not too long. First question is from Ob12. And he says, what are the different ways to say because? You could say because. You could say 'cause. You could say 'cause I said so. There's a bunch of different ways to say, oh, I think you mean Japanese. I'm going to go through the ones that I could just imagine, like I could remember in my head that we use all the time. So we have dakara. Now I want to point out that dakara is independent. It means like therefore, like everything that I just said, and for that reason, therefore this thing, right? So when we say because, in English it might not always be because. It might be so or since or because, but it all means the same thing. It means that we're talking about, ran out of breath, we're talking about a reason for something, and then there's a result, okay? So you've got dakara, or kara, which is a compound sentence. You've got node, or nanode, okay? Because you can just say all out of the blue, nanode, meaning therefore, blah, 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 blah. Nanode, because of the stuff before it, right? Blah, 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 blah. Dakara, because of the stuff before it, these things, okay? This is one that actually can mean because, blah, 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 blah. No tame. Now, no tame literally means on behalf of or for, but it can mean due to this thing, that. Again, I'm taking the term because and I'm kind of expanding it to be any time there's a reason and a result, okay? Naze nara. Okay, naze nara is why and a version of if in Japanese. So, if why, like literally. So now this is blah, 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 result because of, if you want to know why, it's this. And then the result follows, not the result, the reason follows naze nara, okay? All right. Then you've got datte. And then after datte, this also means because, is the reason. The reason, right? So in the first dakara, nanode, and notame, the reason is before. But now we're saying the reason follows. These are big differences. You will ruin the entire sentence if you don't know where the reason is supposed to fall. Okay? Naze ka toyu to. That's the longest one I could come up right now. That also, the reason follows after, and it means, well, if you want to know the reason why, if I'm going to say the reason why. Now let's look at some sentences. I'm going to take the same sentence, the same reason, and the same result, and we're going to mix them through each of these different versions. Here we go. And by the way, we talked about this before in videos before, but when you learn a new grammar, and all of these are different grammar points, you have to know how it's used with a verb, how it's used with an adjective, and how it's used with a noun. And for example, that's when the dakara or kara can be there, okay? So that'll change. But we're not going to go through all of those because we're really just talking about how does each version work. So, お金がないから行けないです. Because I have no money, I cannot go. So the cause, the reason is before the kata and it's having no money. The result of having no money is after the kata and it means it's I can't go. Ikenai desu. Exact same sentence, ready? お金がないのでいけないです. Now typically, exact same thing, exact same sentence. They both mean since or because here. But no de tends to be a little bit more polite sounding. So probably this sentence would be more like お金がないのでいけません. Like it feels a little bit more polite. Kata is your very standard way. All right, how about this? お金がないため due to lack of money いけないです. Both means same. These all mean that the reason I can't go is no money. Just different nuances in different times. Kind of hard to explain in a short Ask a Teacher, but we're gonna keep going. Now, here's where the because comes after. The reason is stated later. The result is stated first. Ikenai desu. I cannot go. Naze nara. The reason why is because お金がないからです. お金がないです, right? なぜならお金がないです. The reason why is I have no money. Now this one is very nuanced, right? So this is いけないです. だってお金がないです. Now だって tends to be informal sounding because you're like going, yeah, man, because I don't. Like you're kind of whining. It's a whiny thing. So normally this would be more like だってお金がないよ. Be like more of an informal thing, right? So いけないよ. I can't go. だってお金がない. But man, I don't got money. Okay? Still, exact same order as なぜなら, but it's different timing really to use this. This is definitely not something you're going to say to your boss. You say like, hey man, the project didn't go well. だって他のみんな何もやってないんだよ. Yeah, because no, but man, no one else did anything. Like literally, that's an excuse. You're saying datte, that's like an excuse, and that's not a good thing to do. Okay, here we go. いけないです. なぜかというと、お金がないです. Now, this なぜかというと is a little bit over the top. It's like, the reason why this has happened is, it's a little bit too much. But they're all three of the bottom ones are result and then reason, and everything at the top is reason then result. That is an excellent question. Thank you. All right, next question is from Daughter Tyler, an interesting username. How long does it usually take to learn hiragana? Okay, well, 9 lessons. If you're using Japanese from Zero Book 1, we have integrated into this book all of the hiragana learning, right? And we learn 5 to, I think, 15 characters a lesson. And after the 9th, I think, after the 10th lesson, you're done. Because there's not that many. There's not even 100. Now, that sounds like a lot when you only know 26 alphabet. But keep in mind, there's no weird spellings. There's no, if you add, like, a P and an H becomes an F. There's no weird thing like that in Japanese, except for ha becomes wa and he becomes eh. That's really the only weirdness. You learn them, and you're done. And it's basically 9 lessons. Or, I don't have a copy of it. Oh, here we go. Now, eventually this book's going to be discontinued because we have the hiragana and katakana book. But this is very, very thin. So this is what we've integrated into the Japanese from Zero Book 1 into one little book, and it's only like 80 pages. You could knock this out in a couple days. You really could. Now, will you be good at it? No, you got to practice. Japanese hiragana, I've seen people learn it in a couple days, 3-4 days. Other people, take a little bit more time. They want to practice a little bit more. And I recommend that. Why rush it? Go make it 10 days or 20 days. It's not a hard thing to accomplish. But you'll have a lot of errors initially if you go too fast. But you can always correct that. There's some ones that really look similar, like re and ne and wa. They have this little curly thing that confuses people. So once you get past the ones that are a little bit hard, it's not that bad. Some of them are like so unique you'll never screw them up. So yeah, a couple days. I don't think it's that bad. And then, you can jump right. What gets hard is katakana. Because katakana is not as distinct as the hiragana. It's really more straight lined, and a lot of people hate katakana. I mean, they hate katakana because they learned hiragana. Now it's like the exact same sound set plus a little bit more because it's for foreign origin words. And you're like, I hate katakana. And it's also like hard to read sometimes because you'll be like, so-se-ji. You're like, what is that? So-se-ji. And you have to read it fast. Sausage, sausage. It's only when you read it fast that you know what it is. So, but I'll say this. Japanese, you're lucky. You're so lucky when you're learning Japanese to have katakana because there's no ambiguity. Katakana, is a foreign origin word. But go to Chinese or Korean. Chinese has kanji. And I'm trying to I'm looking at the kanji, what does this word mean with all, because I'm trying to put meaning. Chinese has all of their characters that each character has meaning. But they're using those characters just to make a sound, and you don't you look at it and you're like, what is this word? I don't know. Oh, it's Canada, or oh, it's Australia. Like, wow, that's really awkward. Same thing with Korean. Korean has a really easy to write system, but there's no way to distinguish it. So I kind of like katakana. Katakana's kind of nice. All right, that wasn't your question, but how long does it take? I don't know. It depends on the person, but 2-3 days minimum, max. I mean, you could take it up to a month, but if you took a month to learn hiragana, I think you could do it quicker than that. I really do. All right. Thank you for that question. Next question is from Mayor Pixel. I thought his name was Major Pixel. Maybe it's Mayor Pixel. I might have gotten that wrong. What is the true meaning of yoroshiku onegai shimasu? I've heard it being said when meeting someone for the first time, when asking someone for help, and even at a barbershop where both the customer and the barber says that. What? I'm confused. Those are all different things. They are all different things. And I'm gonna say something. In our Japanese from Zero book series, I've progressively, I think, gotten slightly better at explaining it. But initially I was just like, this is impossible to translate. But it's not. Let's go through it. It's really simple. I'm going to boil it down to 2 things, okay? First, you're right. You're absolutely right. First meeting, it's one of the things that you say. There's 3 things you have to say when you meet somebody, right? There's your name, the yoroshiku onegai shimasu, and hajimemashite, right? So you say hajimemashite. That's the first thing, always. Hajimemashite. Then you'll say your name, Joji desu, or Joji tomoshimasu, if you want to be more polite, or the very elementary version of Watashi no namae wa Joji desu, but people don't normally do that. That's very 6th grade, 5th grade children that don't know how to yet sound normal, okay? Typically, you're going to do Joji tomoshimasu, okay? And then you're going to say, out of the 3 things, the third one is almost always Yoroshiku onegai shimasu, okay? And it really often gets translated as nice to meet you. That's because we literally don't have this in English, and this is what makes it difficult. We don't have this concept, right? We say, hey, nice to meet you, I'm George, right? But imagine we had another thing, say, hey, nice to meet you, be nice to me. It's just awkward in English, but it's really like saying, be nice to me, okay? So use it when you're first meeting. It's almost very similar to nice to meet you, even though there is a hajimemashite, which means nice to meet you. All other times, when this is used, is I request you treat me well. Okay, that's what it's like. It's like, hey, yoroshi. Yoroshi means good. You turn yoroshi into an adverb, yoroshiku, nicely, goodly, and onegai shimasu means I request. I request goodly. Makes no sense, right? Just I request you treat me well, or I request your favor. Okay? So, first meeting, and here's the key point. First meeting, I'm summing it up for you. And right before someone does something for you, that's when you use it. Like at the barbershop, he's getting ready to cut your hair. Hey, yoroshiku onegai shimasu. I'm in your hands. Really, in that case, it's like, I'm in your hands. It's all you, man. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Now, The barber might say it to the customer because he's getting ready to do something for him. You can say it at that point. But more often, when you hear yoroshiku onegaishimasu by both sides, you're going to hear this one. Korekara mo yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Okay? Now, the barber would say this to the customer because korekara mo means from this point forward also, please be good to me. That means be my customer. Keep coming back. Korekara mo yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Okay? And the customer could say it too. Hey, I'm going to keep coming here to get my hair done. Please, whatever you can do for me. I've given an example where you're at a party and there's a hot girl, right? And you're a guy and you see the girl and you go, oh man, that girl's really beautiful. Wow. And the guy goes, oh yeah, that's my older sister. You just turn to him and go, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Hey man, whatever you can do for me, man, please help me out. So it's whenever you want someone to do something for you, it doesn't mean please. It does not mean please. All by itself, onegaishimasu does mean please, but when you have the yoroshiku in front of it, it's just general overall, hey, you're getting ready to do something for me. It's almost like a pre-thank you, It's like, yoroshiku onegaishimasu. I appreciate what you're doing for me. Please do well. All right. That is it for this Ask a Teacher. For those of you that are in the live stream on YouTube, which, by the way, many people ask, when do you guys do a live stream? It's very random. Please follow us on Twitter. It's at YesJapan. And please on also Facebook. It's Japanese from Zero on Facebook. Search for us. And on YouTube. All three of those methods will get you information on when we live stream. Okay? See you all next time. Bye-bye.